In the heart of the emerald canopy, where sunlight filters through a tapestry of green, life begins anew each day. But for one young mother, today is not like any other. Today marks the 4th day of her newborn's life, a day of first breaths, first touches, and soon, first steps. This is the story of JAZZY, a gentle soul learning the ancient art of motherhood and the tiny life she cradles against her heart. It is a story of patience, of family, of instinct, and of the tender, resilient bond between a mother and her child. On a soft bed of green grass, warmed by the morning sun, JAZZY gently places her little one down. Just 4 days old, the infant clings to sleep. It stirs with the new sensations of the world. This is not mere rest. This is the first classroom. Here, on this living carpet, JAZZY begins the gentle work of introduction, introducing her child to earth, to air, to life itself. For in the wild, understanding does not come from shelter alone, but from feeling the world directly from the very beginning. The little one struggles, limbs still unsteady, instinct urging it to rise, to walk, to move. But JAZZY understands what the child does not. These first lessons are not about independence, but about connection. She does not let the infant stumble alone. Instead, she draws it close against the steady beat of her heart. Here, pressed to her chest, the child learns its first true lesson: to observe, to watch the swaying leaves, the flitting insects, the world in motion, all from the safety of a mother's embrace. Before one walks, one must learn to see. Soon, company arrives. JAZZY's younger sister, Yona, appears, carrying a piece of coconut in her hands. She settles nearby, eating quietly, a moment of simple sustenance. But then, deliberately, she lets the coconut fall, not by accident, but with purpose, an offering. In this gesture lies a deep, unspoken language of care, a sister ensuring her sibling is nourished too. Even in the wild, family looks after family. The troop moves as one, a flowing river of life through the trees. JAZZY follows, her infant secured against her. As she travels, she remains a steady vessel still, sure, allowing her child to adjust, to find its balance against the rhythm of her movement. Every step is a lesson in trust. Every pause, a chance to listen to the heartbeat of the forest and of the mother who carries it forward. They arrive at a foraging ground. While others climb and search, JAZZY chooses stillness. She finds a sun-warmed rock and settles not to eat, but to nourish. Here she offers her milk, and in doing so, offers something greater. Time. Time to bond, to feed, to simply be. In a world of constant motion, she understands that the most vital things often happen in the quiet moments between journeys. Once rested, JAZZY joins the gentle harvest. Flowers, tender grasses, small insects, each is a gift from the forest, a natural pharmacy of vitamins and proteins. She eats with unhurried grace, teaching through action. Food is not just sustenance, but part of the earth's delicate balance. And in this balance, life is sustained. The troop moves with focused energy, stripping leaves, seeking insects. But JAZZY does not linger. With her child in her arms, she seeks a different need: elevation. A small hill near a great tree becomes their sanctuary, a place to rest above the world, to see without being seen. Here, on this gentle slope, the infants of the troop gather. JAZZY's little one, now awake, sits among them wide-eyed, observing its first playmates. This is the child's first social world, a classroom of fur and movement, where curiosity is the only curriculum. All around, life continues. Adults eat, teach, lead. Some mothers guide their own young across the grass, each step a triumph, each stumble a lesson. It is a meadow of learning, a green stage where the oldest drama unfolds anew with every generation, the passing on of how to live. JAZZY does not remain still for long. A mother's instinct is a compass, always pointing toward comfort, safety, plenty. She moves again, seeking a spot where milk will flow easily and peace will cradle them both. Yona joins them once more, the devoted aunt, ever present. She sits close, her presence a soft echo of their mother Jane. In her eyes we see more than play. We see the keeping of a promise to care, to stay close, to love in absence. But life in the wild is never without interruption. The sudden presence of a wandering dog sends a ripple of tension through the troop. JAZZY holds her child tighter. Yona edges closer. Yet the moment passes a reminder that vigilance is the price of peace, and that danger often walks nearby without ever crossing the line. With the threat gone, the infant's world expands again. Now fed and secure, it begins its true exploration, reaching, grasping, looking. Every object is a mystery, every shadow a question. This is how the world is learned, not all at once, but touch by touch, glance by glance.
Thế nè, chăm năm nay bao vào, chăm mười nhầm khay còi cái bàn lùi khạc máu, tình ô bát thom việc khạc khá này, nè anh tay tới nè chờ bàn sổ phiêu lọ, bà, đây tam bút trong cái này con mua thật cái này. mau mình nó lo men bàn tao nó phải giờ một phây là ti rồi crop vào ấy.
Yona seizes this moment of calm. She draws near, nuzzling the little one kiss after tender kiss, a shower of affection, and the infant, in its own fragile way, responds. Soft grip, a seeking gaze, a conversation without words, written in the oldest language of all, love. As the sun begins its slow descent, the troop turns homeward. Jazzy and Yona move together, a small family within the larger whole. Along the path, they snack a bite here, a leaf there, never wasting a journey, always nourished by the world as they pass through it. Back in familiar territory, they reunite briefly with Ada, another member of the troop. But social bonds are fluid here. Ada soon moves on, leaving Jazzy and Yona once more in their own intimate circle. And now, Jazzy returns to the lesson. Once more, she places her child upon the grass, this living, breathing mat of green. The infant trembles, limbs working against gravity, learning the feel of earth beneath unsteady feet. This is the practice of becoming. Yona remains, the steady aunt, embracing her sister, playing with her niece a portrait of kinship. In her devotion, we feel the presence of the mother they lost, Jane. Love, it seems, does not disappear. It is inherited, shared, and passed along like a sacred trust. One cannot help but wonder if Jane were here, how her heart would swell to see her daughters caring for one another, and now for this new life. In their tenderness, her legacy lives not in memory, but in motion, in daily acts of nurture. But peace is fragile. A sudden squabble among troop members shatters the calm. Jazzy and Jonna move quickly away. A mother's first priority is always safety, and peace is the only ground where a child can learn. In a new, quieter spot, Jazzy tries again, and this time her child trembles not just with effort, but with growing strength. The legs shake, the body sways, but there is determination here. A will to stand, to rise, to meet the world. They find a resting place on a broad, sun-warmed stone. Around them, other mothers cradle their own young, a gallery of devotion. Yet Jazzy's eyes remain watchful. When the troop shifts, she follows. A mother must be both a sanctuary and a traveler, always ready to move when the community moves. At last, a moment of true respite. Jazzy settles on a large flat rock, lying back with her child upon her. Here, she rests deeply, but a mother's rest is never empty. Even in stillness, her body feeds, her presence teaches. The infant, awake now, drinks not just milk, but security, warmth, the very essence of home. And then a breakthrough. The little one is no longer passive. It grips its mother's fur, pushes against her legs, attempts to lift itself. Eyes wide, it looks around, not just seeing, but recognizing. The world is becoming familiar. This is the dawning of independence, born from the deepest dependency. Jazzy closes her eyes just for moments at a time. Motherhood is exhausting, especially when done alone, without the guidance of her own mother. She tends not only to her infant, but in many ways to Yona too. In her fatigue, we see the weight of caring, the beautiful, relentless burden of love.
nè con tôi rất sân đấy cô cho đi chơi được phụ lôi bọc bào bọc tí rồi chắc không gì
Evening descends, painting the sky in hues of amber and grey. Jazzy gathers her child and begins to climb up into the shelter of the branches. Here, high above the earth, she will find a nest for the night. Today's lessons are over. The walking can wait for tomorrow. For now, there is only the safety of the canopy, the rhythm of breathing, and the silent promise that with the dawn, another day of learning will begin. In the gentle cradle of the night, Jazzy and her child sleep. The green grass waits below, ready for tomorrow's attempts, tomorrow's trembles, tomorrow's steps. What we have witnessed is more than instinct. It is wisdom passed through generations, a mother's patience, a sister's loyalty, a child's dawning courage. In a world that often feels vast and untamed, the greatest wilderness is sometimes the journey from a mother's arms to one's own 2 feet. And the most profound truth is this: we all learn to walk, held by love long before we walk